This review was made possible by contributions from viewers like you.
Hello everyone, and welcome to my 7th anniversary! Another year of reviewing horrible movies and comics has gone by, so it's once again time to play Which is Worse? And I think I've got a pretty good assortment of movies to compare to this time around, so let's start things off by asking... which is worse, Halloween Town or Twitches? This last Halloween, I reviewed a couple of Disney Channel original movies, which by itself is enough to rate them as pretty friggin' terrible. Twitches came off more like a pilot episode for a TV show that never got off the ground, except we were supposed to take it more seriously than that, but the gaping plot holes kept any sense of tension or urgency from ever developing. And it didn't exactly help that this was another property that thought the best way of making its female cast in any way competent was to turn its male cast into blithering idiots. Halloween Town suffered the same problems and then some, but I'd say the final nail in the proverbial coffin would be our protagonist, Marnie. A movie can endure having a lot of bad elements in it, but one thing it can't recover from is having a bad main character. In this case, Marnie is an egotistical little brat who only cares about getting her way, as she desperately tries to make herself feel important. There's an evil wizard who seeks to conquer the world, and she wants to stop him not for the world's sake, but because she just wants to be the hero. Never mind how her little sister Sophie has the real witching talents, and should have been the hero because she actually wants to help people and stop the villain. It's all about Marnie. So, which is worse? Halloween Town. Which is worse, The Three Wise Men or El Arca? One of my earliest reviews recounted a retelling of the story of Noah from the Bible, and it was one hell of a mixed bag. The animation was of higher quality than what we usually see on this show. It had a more prominent subplot of the inheritor to the entire lion species learning a sense of responsibility, and it also featured the most palpable furry bait that you could find without internet access. It also showed Noah's family as being incredibly dysfunctional, making you wonder how bad things really were if these people were handpicked by God in order to carry on the human race. As I said, it's a mixed bag. Another story taken from the Bible and adapted to film even more loosely was the story of the Nativity, being told from the perspective of the Three Wise Men. This movie had so much potential as a fresh take on a story that's been told so many times, and all of that potential is just squandered. It'd be interesting to see the Wise Men's travels as they follow the star to Bethlehem, meet some people along the way with their own theories about what the star could mean, they hear stories of people seeing angels, maybe they have a skirmish or two with King Herod's lackeys, all building up to finally seeing the King of Kings themselves. The movie as it is has almost nothing to do with that story, as we follow a couple of wizards playing Indiana Jones in what reads more like someone's rejected Dungeons & Dragons scenario. What's worse is that this bizarre movie had a chance to be educational, and it messes that up too. The story of the Three Wise Men is being told by someone of vague European descent to some American kid who is disappointed by not getting that special gift that he wanted for Christmas. This would be the perfect opportunity for Old Man Bobsheaux here to teach the kid, who is essentially a meta-representation of the American audience, about Epiphany, or Three Kings Day, a holiday celebrated in many other Christian nations on which the Three Wise Men give gifts to the children of the world like Santa Claus does. But with no mention of this particular holiday, any American audience is going to look at this and think that this old codger pulled this right out of his ass. So, which is worse? The Three Wise Men. Which is worse? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Misfit Toys, or The Legend of Frosty the Snowman? Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman are two of the most beloved specials of the Christmas season. So naturally, there would have to be a couple of sequels to exploit their popularity decades later that don't even try to capture the charm of the originals. Rudolph and the Island of Misfit Toys is plagued with embarrassingly amateurish animation, forgettable songs, half-assed performances by talent who really should be doing better, but it kinda sorta works itself out by the end, when the antagonist redeems himself and gets his happy ending. The Legend of Frosty the Snowman... I have no idea what the hell's going on here. They made a movie based on Rankin Bass's Frosty, which somehow contradicts everything that the character has appeared in. Frosty himself is voiced by Patrick Starr, which makes him sound like he fell out of the stupid tree and hit every branch on the way down. And he's supposed to be some kind of anti-establishment rebel raging against the machine of some Cold War-era suburban town, which he must save from an evil conformist dictator so it can continue to be ruled by a good conformist dictator. Not only does this story have nothing to do with the narrator/main character that it claims to be about, and not only does it have nothing to do with the original concept of Frosty the Snowman, it doesn't even have anything to do with Christmas. How do you have a Christmas movie in which Christmas isn't even mentioned? So, which is worse? The Legend of Frosty the Snowman. Which is worse? Mune, Guardian of the Moon, or Coco? Raven suggested that I mix things up a little bit by comparing two good movies, and I'm not really sure I'm doing this right, but here we go. Coco and Mune, while being two very different creatures, share a lot in common. They take us to new worlds created from the ground up, they introduce a cast of characters that you just kind of accept instead of asking yourself, how can they be real? And they tell really good stories through stunning animation. But which movie is better? While both of these movies are really enjoyable, I have to admit that Coco just has that much more emotional resonance that puts it just over the top, especially with the ending scene between Miguel and Mama Coco.
Know that I'm with you, the way that I can be, until you're in my arms again. Remember me.
Damn it, Pixar, stop making me cry! So, which is worse? I really don't want to sound like I'm putting it down because I still really enjoy it, but... Mune? Which is worse? Maleficent or The Nutcracker, The Untold Story? The Nutcracker is a horrible movie, completely missing the point of the original ballet and somehow turning it into an allegory for Nazi occupation. Because when you think of a prince who turns into a nutcracker and has to fight off a rat king, you think frickin' Nazis! Maleficent, on the other hand, had so much going for it. Who is this self-proclaimed mistress of all evil? Where did she come from? Why is she so unashamedly evil? Well, I hope you like unanswered questions, because this movie does not tell the story of one of Disney's most iconic villains, just some lady who happens to have the same name. Instead of making her a bad guy, they make her the victim. Instead of simply telling the story from a different perspective, they had to make every other good character evil or stupid just to make Maleficent look better. And for what? Just so Disney can look like they're self-aware and with the times, while showing that there are other kinds of love and that their heroines don't need no man to get the job done? If you're that embarrassed by the source material, just don't do it, okay? But where the Nutcracker was derided for being the piece of crap that it is, Maleficent managed to fool great many an audience into thinking that it's actually good. Yeah, never mind how it completely ruins perfectly good characters to bolster another, which subsequently ruins her character in the process. The story doesn't make sense, and the titular villain does nothing villainous that she doesn't immediately regret and try to make right. This movie's awesome because #feminism. There's bad, and like the Transformers movies, there's deceptively bad. So which is worse? Maleficent. And this concludes this year's installment of Which is Worse. And as always, I would like to propose a toast to you, the greatest audience that a guy like me could want. I just want to thank all of you who have left comments, shared my videos, contributed to my Patreon, mailed me gifts and contributions of movies and DVDs and fan art, and just really, I could not do this without you guys. And now, here's to many more years of laughs and sharing with the people that I could not do this without. Thank you, everybody.
You know there's something you should know, so I'm gonna tell you so. Don't sweat it, forget it, enjoy the show. Working all day, now it's time to unwind. Kick back, relax, take a load off your mind. I'll be busting the moves and I'll be busting the rhymes. We'll be busting up laughing cause it's party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Just leave your troubles at the door, leave your worries behind, leave the rest up to me, you're gonna like what you find. I'll be busting the moves and I'll be busting the rhymes, we'll be busting up laughing cause it's party time. Party time, it's party time, everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, party time, everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, party time, everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, party time, everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, party time, everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, party time, everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time. It's party time.
Hey guys, I have a letter here to read, which has no name on it. Let's see who this is from. It is a Harry Potter Christmas card featuring the houses of Ravenclaw, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, and Gryffindor.
In other words, the houses.
The houses, yes. To Bobsheaux and Raven, have a Harry Christmas. Love, Tanya Cope. XXXXX. Thank you, Tanya.
Aw, thank you. I love Harry Potter.
Yes.
I made Bobsheaux watch all the movies. Have we finished watching them? I think we watched all of them, didn't we?
The only movies we haven't seen are the Fantastic Beasts spin-offs.
Oh, okay, and Grindelwald.
Is that not considered Fantastic Beasts?
It probably is.
Yeah, well. But, yes, I finally got around to watching all the Harry Potter films, and I will never forget my favorite line, I think, from the fifth one. What could be safer than Hogwarts? Really?
Cliff diving.
Swimming through the sun. Everything is safer than Hogwarts. But thank you for the lovely Christmas card, Tanya.
Hope your holidays were happy too, Tanya.
And if you guys want to send me any letters, Christmas cards like that, fan art, whatever, go ahead and send it to the PO box in the corner, and I'll see you later.
Subscribe, like, follow, comment, share, watch more.